Good afternoon, Britain. It's 1:45. Now, the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, is raising Britain's taxes at the fastest pace in the G7.
The Institute for Fiscal Studies expects the Chancellor will need to find at least $22 billion next month due to higher borrowing costs, weaker growth and new spending commitments.
Well, this is a really serious and significant issue. And, of course, the country is waiting with bated breath for next month's budget. But let's discuss it all and more with the Conservative Party leader, Kemi Badenoch. Kemi, thanks for joining us here on Good Afternoon Britain. What do you expect the Chancellor to put forward in her budget next month? We've heard from the IMF, we've heard from the IFS. What do you expect?
Well, Rachel Reeves has made a huge mess. She doesn't know how to clean it up, so she's going to ask us to clean it up. And that means more tax rises. There is no other way that she is going to do anything else. What she should be doing is cutting spending. We have outlined £47 billion of savings that she could find. We effectively put out a shadow budget at our party conference. If she had any sense, that's the sort of stuff she would do. But I doubt she will. I think she's just going to come back with more and more tax rises.
I mean, Kemi, when you said cutting stamp duty at the conference, it was incredibly well received by many, many people, certainly by our viewers. It didn't give you that boost in the polls, though. Are you surprised by that?
No, because I'm not focused on polling. I'm focused on doing the right thing. Polls move around for different reasons. What I have to show is what the Conservative Party stands for. We are a party of aspiration. We believe in people getting on. We're for all those people who are going out there, working hard. They want to put roots down, they want to start families, and they can't do so because of all these taxes in their way. Stamp duty being one of the very worst. That's why we want to abolish it.
Now, you're only abolishing it, of course, on primary residences, not for second homes. Was that a bit of a dig at Angela Rayner?
I think Angela Rayner wished that we could have brought that policy in before she got into such a mess. But the bottom line is that we are pushing that a stronger economy and a stronger borders is what the public are asking for. We're the only party that has both the competence and the courage to deliver it. We're going to need to take some tough decisions on borders. That'll help with social cohesion, tough decisions on our economy, cutting spending where there's a lot of waste. People who need to be out there working aren't working. We want to help them get to work. Those are tough decisions. Labour doesn't have the stomach to deal with them. Reforms plans tend to fall apart when people start asking questions. We want people to look at our plans. They stand up to scrutiny. People like them. We are showing what the Conservative Party is about and who we stand for.
Kemi, Rachel Reeves, for the financial mess we're in, has blamed literally everybody for the fact that she is going to have to put up taxes in the budget, including the Tories and Brexit and Nigel Farage, obviously. But does she have a point? Because this hasn't all happened in the past year. Do you accept that the Tories have some blame for the financial mess we're currently in?
We are in difficult economic times. We had to contend with dealing with a changing economy when we left the EU, but also a pandemic. We spent about £400 billion. We paid people to stay at home during the pandemic. That's what we spent the money on. Rachel Reeves is not dealing with the pandemic. She had an opportunity at the last budget to actually come up with some policies that would help people get on. Instead, she chose to give bungs to the trade unions and to tax businesses who are now closing. People are leaving the country. I'm not here to say that everything the Conservatives did was perfect, but all Labour have done is make everything worse. We have a weaker economy, we have weaker borders because we have a weak Prime Minister and a weak Chancellor.
Now, you said that you put forward this, in effect, shadow budget, £47 billion of spending cuts, and you golden rule that half of every saving has to go to sort of pro-growth and half the rest of it goes to deficit reduction. I didn't hear much mention of national insurance amidst that all. Would you maintain the Chancellor's national insurance hike that, of course, many economists say has done such damage to job growth over the last year?
it has done an incredible amount of damage. And we are looking at all the possible ways that we can alleviate the pain that many people are suffering. But we put out the policies that we did put out because we had a plan, they were costed. We need to make sure that everything we tell people can actually be delivered.
So on
That's
that
why
point,
we talked about abolishing stamp duty.
Sorry, there's a bit of a delay on the line.
Duty, for example, but
when this policy came in, you opposed it, but now you're not saying that you'd get rid of it. National insurance hike, that is.
Yes, one of the things that we're trying to do is make sure that every policy we announce has a plan. We've said we're going to get rid of Labour's family farms tax. Farmers are our people. Labour's going after them. We'll protect them. The business rates, for example, on all retail, hospitality and leisure, we want to get rid of those up to £110,000. That will save the high street. So we have different policies. We will reverse a lot of the mess that Labour is making, but before we say how we will do so, we need to have a plan behind it. What I'm not going to do is rush out and say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, when we can't explain what the impact is going to be. That's the kind of stuff that reform does. We have to be competent and credible. I'm not making any promises until I know exactly how we will deliver them. We know how we will deliver a reversal on taxing education and private school fees. We know how we will deliver a reversal on family business taxes. We know how we will deliver a reversal on family farms taxes. Those things, as well as scrapping the business rates for most of the high street, those are our business policies that will help a lot of people out there. But every day, Labour is making everything worse. They're leaving a hell of a mess for us to clear up, and we're going to have to think very carefully about how we clean up that mess.
OK, Kemi, talking of making a mess of things, front page of the Daily Express today, Kemi, it stinks of a China cover-up, the collapsed Chinese spy story. It's going on and on and on. Do you think that Keir Starmer should go over this? I mean, it is one hell of a mess.
I think that he has now misled the House repeatedly. Yesterday, he brought out this weaselly statement, knowing that he couldn't be questioned on it because no one had seen it in advance. Normally, a statement of that length, we would have had advance notice. But he also said that he was releasing witness statements that would prove his case. The witness statements prove our case. He said that the statements were based on Conservative Party policy. They were based on Labour Party policy. There were actually lines lifted from Labour manifesto put in there. They were supposed to give evidence against China. They were praising China in their witness statements. No wonder the case has collapsed. This man cannot look after our national interest. He cannot defend us from our enemies. He's too busy looking for ways to try and smear Conservatives instead of doing the job that he's been elected to do. And that's the reason why he should go.
He is misleading the House.
He cannot do anything properly.
OK, Kemi, he can't do anything properly. He's misleading the House. He can't protect the government. He can't certainly protect our borders. Time for him to step down.
Well, unfortunately, last year, people voted Labour in with a historic majority. He has a majority that's bigger than all of the Conservative MPs combined. That means it's going to be very hard to remove Labour, but Labour can remove Keir Starmer. If Labour MPs had any sense, they would be looking at what their Prime Minister is doing, because he is covering all of them in his misleading the House. He is covering all of them in his incompetence and his ineptitude. He has changed his story again and again. He has now confessed that there was a secret meeting with his political advisor, Jonathan Powell.
Okay.
That's the National Security Advisor. He's telling us that the Deputy
Kemi
National
Badenoch, I'm
Security
afraid we've
Advisor
run to the end of the interview, but thank you so much for joining us.
Here's
Here's the weather.